What's going on, y'all? I was gonna do a part 1 video on this little single cab short bed Canyon / Colorado body we picked up just to do an LS swap on. Got the truck with no motor. Plan is just do a little cheap budget build. Not sure if we're gonna put a carburetor on it or fuel injection, but probably gonna strip it down. Had the interior completely gutted. Just a little 5.3 in it with some nitrous. We're gonna have her gutted. I know these trucks, seen online, these trucks are pretty heavy. I think about 3,500 full weight. Plan to see how light we can. This is the early 2000s Tahoe we bought just to get the motor out of. Just swap into it. This thing is beat, junky. I've been parting it out a little bit. Woo, thing's nasty, man. I hate even pulling mess out of it. Just been selling, parting it out a little bit, but this thing's got 200 and something thousand miles. But little old LM753, GM353. It had good oil pressure. It cranked up about 50 pounds cold. Won't ticking, you know, it was running real quiet. Got it up to temp, didn't see no issues. So we're gonna yank this thing out. And like I said, I ain't sure if we're gonna keep it fuel injected or put a carburetor on it or what. But we got a spare 400 in the shop transmission. And I ain't sure if we'll try and weld that stock rear end in the Colorado up or what. Here's the stuff we done been pulling off Colorado. I said we got it with the motor out, but I pulled the factory exhaust bumper, factory fuel tank. We're gonna put a fuel cell, put a little battery in the back, you know, race truck stuff. But you know what y'all think? Thinking this thing, maybe just pop it out, throw a cam and some springs in it, let it ride. And I'm gonna try and keep up with the price just so y'all can see how cheap we try to do this thing. We'll be starting the truck in the green right off the bat. You know, a couple $100 in the green, I would think. So all I gotta do is find good deals. I looked for about 2 weeks and finally found this thing. They said, the lady said it wouldn't run over 40 miles an hour because the air filter was bad, clogged up. But shoot, I cranked it up, seen the oil pressure, let it get up temp, no ticks, and paid the lady. And when I went to pull it up out the yard onto the trailer, the transmission was slipping like crazy. So that would kind of explain why it wouldn't go over. That would explain why it wouldn't go over 40, 45. But shoot, at that point I didn't care. It was so cheap. You know, you go to the picking pool and pay about 300 bucks for a 5.3. Then you got to pull it in the mud and tote all your tools out there. So it was just easier for me to buy a whole vehicle and we can pull it right here in the shop. But appreciate y'all watching. I'll keep you updated on part 2 whenever we get to messing with this thing a little more. So all we've done right now is strip some weight out the Canyon shell and hadn't even got the motor out the Tahoe yet, but I will update y'all. Appreciate y'all watching. All right, so I'm gonna go over what we got so far with the Canyon Colorado. I feel like everybody calls them Colorados, but it's a GMC shell, so it's a Canyon. Single cab short bed that we're gonna turn into a race truck. So we paid 200 bucks for the shell. We're gonna sell, it's got a 4L60 transmission. We're gonna sell the factory seats, maybe the factory dash. I don't know, might keep the dash. We're gonna definitely gut behind it though, see how much it weighs after we gut it. So we're gonna sell the transmission, 4L60, the seats for sure, My dad wants to put a roll pan on it, so we took the rear bumper off. We got the stock gas tank. I don't know if anybody buy that, but for sure the transmission and the seats. I'm thinking about $500 to $600 for the transmission and the seats, so we should be in the green. A couple $100 on the shell. We'll probably reuse the rear end for now. Either just do a good old spool, homemade spool, weld the spider gears up, or we might see if we can find a mini spool or something. I'm not sure yet, but we're probably gonna just reuse the rear end for now, do an 8.8 later on. But we already have a 750 carb, fuel cell. I've got an NRG racing seat that I took out my G8. We've already got a turbo 400 with a trans brake in it. We've got some converters we could try to use, and we've got enough to piece together a nitrous kit. So let's say what, I don't know, used carb 400, fuel cell 100, 500, race seat 100, 200, so say 700. 400 with a trans brake, you could probably get that used. We probably got like, I'm trying to add it up in my head, say, I don't know, $1,500. So 400, 100, 500, 600, 700. Say 1,500 for that. So that's 22. Just say used converter 300, 2,500, and some piece together nitrous. So we'll say this stuff is worth 2,700. Just, I don't know, just throwing a number out there, stuff that we already got. We're gonna need a MSD box there, 500. We're gonna need a single plane intake, 300 to 400. Cam kit, just the cam and springs is all we plan on doing to the motor. So say that's 1,500 with that stuff. Just some stuff that I was thinking of. We're gonna need some slicks. Might try and use the stock 15-inch rims for now. We're gonna need a drive shaft made. So on our Tahoe, we paid $700 for a Tahoe. Sold parts so far, sold the transmission, transfer case, stuff like that, and that thing was pretty beat. But got $470 for it so far. I think Pops is going to take it to the scrapyard tomorrow. So theoretically, we should almost get our whole $700 back for the Tahoe. So pretty much have a free motor. So maybe shooting for just total having 2,500 to 3,500 total in it, possibly. I'm not sure if that's even doable. Might need to raise that to 5,000 or less, which will still be pretty cheap, I would think, budget. Maybe try and go, cam only 5.3 on say a 150, 200 shot in a 3,000 pound truck, maybe some 650, 8th mile, mid sixes. I'm not sure if that's really doable, but that's just what we got so far. I'm gonna keep up with everything as we go. I know this is a lot right now, but I'm gonna keep up with it all as we go and try and see what we end at total. So just trying to go pretty fast for cheap. I'd say 650 would be a good goal. Might be able to get the truck down lighter, under 3,000 pounds. We'll just have to see how crazy we get with cutting it up. And then there's some stuff that we're going to save money with off the bat that we're going to have to redo later. Like stock rear end, yeah, it might last for a little while, but for how long? One of them little converters we got might not work good. Might have to end up buying a nicer nitrous kit, but we'll see what we got. And I'll keep y'all updated.